Hi fellow enthusiasts, welcome to my channel. Let's go into today's video and we're going to come back at the end to wrap it up. Now, having designed this application to the point where we can share messages between friends, just to be, how are you? We can notice these messages are not delivered in near real time. If you go back and refresh, go back to this person, you will see all the messages exchanged. But this is less than ideal. And what we want to do is to have these messages delivered in near real time. To do this, we have to enable our liveQuery from Parse Server. So we're going to do that by going back to our Parse Server, and we're going to go to settings or server settings, and then you scroll down to server URL and liveQuery. Enable that. Right here you will want to click on activate your back for app subdomain. So we're going to enable that, and it says my first Android app .b4a.io. You can leave it the way it is, or you can change it to something simpler. So we're going to do ours to be my first Android app 2, or my MFAA. Right, then we're going to activate liveQuery, and we're going to activate it for the chats class, and then we'll save it. All right, when we do that, you want to go back to the documentation. In this documentation, the first thing we want to do is to make sure that we have everything set up properly. We've done this already, so we need to set up these dependencies, and we did that when we were starting our Parse Server application. Now we need to import this. So copy this into your Java application. So it's going to be some of our imports. So import them right there. Just put it here, and then go back to your documentation. We want to get this portion of the documentation. This original portion we already have in our start server section of the codes. So we're here, we're gonna get just the initialize the liveQuery. So when we come back here, we're gonna create a new method, and this method will be called liveQuery. Public void liveQuery. Alright, so we want to import that also in URI. We want to import that as well. Now if you remember, our subdomain, we made it a little bit simpler and easier for us. The subdomain is my first Android application, so MFA2. In back for apps we call it B4A.io, right? And don't forget to change this to HTTPS. Alright, so this liveQuery, we're going to invoke it within the onCreate. Alright, then we've initialized liveQuery. However, we need to subscribe to a topic. So let's go back to the documentation. We need this portion of the code from the documentation. So when we copy this, in the documentation they use this example for online poke, but here we want to change this section. We don't need this, so we're going to change it to correspond to ours. And in ours also, we're subscribing to a class called chats. Our class is chats class, so we have to change this class here to chats. Make sure it corresponds with yours, and we want to get a message where the recipient is the current user. So we're going to go here and do pass user dot get current user dot get username. All right, So when the recipient is the current user, based on the username, we want to get all messages sent to this recipient. I think we've done this before. Let's just verify. Find this. Yes, we've done this before, so it's called the sender. So we're gonna replace this with sender, so we don't have to do it again. All right, so when the recipient is the sender, we want to get all the messages, and here we're gonna check, we're gonna retrieve the messages. So message content will be equal to object, which is this here, the Parse object dot get string, and the string, the key for the string is message. So when I get a message, all the message is sent to this user whenever it's sent. And then we're gonna check if object dot get string, where the key to this string is the sender, dot equals the sender. Then, in fact, let's check if it is not the sender. So we're going to make it not. If it is not the sender, we're going to take our message content and we're going to append the letter R to it, which tells us we are receiving a message this time, plus message content. Then we have to add this message to array list, messages dot add. We're going to add our message content. Then we're going to notify the array adapter that the data set has changed. After this, we're going to do one more thing. We're going to scroll to the latest message that we've just received. Smooth scroll to position, array adapter dot get count, and we're going to subtract 1. So it's going to be showing the latest message just above our edit text entry. We're going to do this in one more area when we're sending a message. So right here, just after sending our message, we want to scroll to the latest message. Alright, I think that will do it. Let's run this, install it on multiple devices so we can install at the same time. That's a neat thing to do. Saves time. Alright. Alright, now having installed the application on both devices, I think it's time to give it a test. Alright, hi tester B, tester A. Alright, hello tester B. Alright, we can see the messages are being sent and received in near real time. And also, if we send more messages just to fill this page, this is just to fill out the page. We need to test the auto scrolling. Let's try here too. Alright, it works here so far. Now you can see as soon as we enter a message, it scrolls so that our message is showing right above the edit text entry. Likewise here. Alright, so both sent and received are behaving in a similar manner. Alright, this will be the end of our Android chat app development tutorial. We have one more video in this series to show how to change the aesthetics, the text, and the background in list view. Alright, thanks for sticking around to the end. That'll be it from us today. please, if you have not subscribed, do so right now, and don't forget to like and share this video. Until we come your way again with more contents, stay enthused.